Crash Bandicoot is one of the many platformer kings and queens in the video game industry, and he has a very long history of games. Some I find really fun, maybe a bit weird. And in Crash Bandicoot 4's case, it's a long story. Is it a good sequel to the beloved PS1 games? Does it appeal to the die-hard Crash fans? And the new people who haven't heard of this insane marsupial? Did Activision finally create a new Crash game without making something very odd and resurrect the character back into the main suite of characters with reasonably good games? And should you guess it? For most of those questions, not the is it odd question.
I'd like to see him try after I shove that tuning fork up his...
As a guy whose first few games happened to be Forza Horizon, Sonic Forces and the Crash Sane Trilogy, I haven't got much history with this Bandicoot. So take it from me, how Crash Bandicoot 4 increased my love of video games in a very good, but also slightly rage-worthy manner. I've played the Insane Trilogy, I played the CTR Nitro Fueled game, don't do time trials by the way.
No.
And now Crash Bandicoot 4, which caused me to buy a controller holder of him. Yeah, that was a mistake. But anyway, let's go into the 4 reasons why I find Crash Bandicoot 4 about time painfully good. And while you're at it, please do subscribe, because it really helps me out with the algorithm. Whoa! Okay, so picture this. You're doing a score test on a subject that you actually enjoy. You get the results back, and it says that you are 1 point off perfection. 1 point of finishing that topic completely. It's a really infuriating feeling, but also one that can actually drive you to perfection the next time. Well, Crash Bandicoot 4 takes that feeling and cranks it up to 11. Hold on, no, hang on. I did say that this game was gonna be good, didn't I? How I love Crash Bandicoot 4. So why am I saying that it's annoying? As any game's collectibles, to get 100% and unlock some pretty sick outfits, you gotta go through the hidden crates. One of the main gimmicks in the normal Crash Bandicoot games is that you have to smash every single crate in the level to get 100% completion, aka you get a big shiny gem that I obsess over way too much. I personally don't mind the challenge. Finding hidden things is really challenging when doing these kind of levels, and it's really satisfying when you actually find it and without tutorial videos. But when there's like 104 boxes and you get 103, throughout practically the entirety of this game, whether you are playing as Crash, Torna, Dingodile or Cortex, there are always at least one hidden box somewhere in the level. And admittedly, some of them are actually quite simple. I mean, you just have to look back when you're playing. But there are a few that you just need to be looking out for. Like, take the first level for example. One of the first boxes you run by, you won't see if you're charging through, and it's sneakily hidden if you take a quick second. That box alone literally tells any hardcore Crash fan, and basically any platformer game fans, that the devs are not playing around. You need to have an extra eye out of your head. You need to always be watching for them boxes, because believe me, the feeling of when you miss one box, man, that is annoying. Oh my god. I'm still trying to 100% it to this day. But then you may be wondering, you're meant to be selling this game to me, not roasting it alive. Well, the reason why I'm saying it painfully good, because it's painful to get the boxes, but the reward is very much worth it. But what is the reward? Infinite checkpoints, secret levels, a whooping bazooka? Yes, as pretty much every platformer, online platformer goes nowadays, there are skins. There aren't any microtransactions. That's amazing. That's good. But how do you get them? Not only do you have to get all the wanted crates, you gotta get, and I think it 3 to 12 gems. How do you get gems? By 100%ing the levels, of course. The skins are good, completing the levels is painful. You can get 6 gems from the main level and 6 from the inverted version of the level, which is basically a mirror mode which has an eye-burning filter on. Well, it is different in each world. You get 1 gem for getting 40% of one fruit, 60%, and another for 80% of Wumpa Fruit in the level. Wumpa Fruit is literally a currency in the Bandicoot's world, it feels like, though it can also be a villain who gets evaporated. You can get 10 Wumpas from the crate, so those 3 gems are pretty easy, but you can get 1 gem for getting all the boxes, which is sometimes quite hard. Talking about the last level, hint, anyone who plays this game would know about it. You also get a gem for only dying 3 times. Sounds easy, but you'd soon find out that it's really difficult on the levels that are past the halfway mark of the game. And finally, you also get 1 hidden gem that hides in the level somewhere, and admittedly, they're really well hidden. I'd say it's only hard if you don't use a tutorial video, and I would say that they get more hidden, if that's even possible, throughout the entirety of the game. I mean, one of them you literally have to take a leap of faith into a deadly river, and that the camera barely even shows. Honestly, some of those skins are so good, I honestly wouldn't mind completing the levels for them. Well, some of them, anyway. I mean, look at this skin. I mean, I rock this one all the time, and honestly, if you're a gamer who is great at platforming games, then you'll definitely be picking up these like candies from Tesco Metro. Don't know why I said that, sorry. But moving swiftly on, a third reason why this game is so painfully good are the quantum masks. Whoa! AKA the new mechanics, AKA the more merchandise to sell, AKA, yeah, you get it. The quantum masks act as the new gimmicks for this game to liven up the platforming as if it wasn't hard enough already. And they also act as the new characters, which is also pretty good. They act as power-ups so that we can acquire and also make some pretty sick armor, if I may say so. I mean, why aren't these skins? I feel like they should have been skins actually. 4 quantum masks. Laniloni, the fading mask, with just a click of the right trigger, you can swap platforms in and out of existence, which makes for some really easy errors to be made, and also some for very rage-worthy platforming, like if you accidentally phased a nitro crate while you were standing on it. Out of all the 4 masks, he is the 100% the most paranoid sibling in the quadruple of the masks, and acts as the third wheels in the game's story. I think its difficulty is depending on whether it's the last level or the first. Like, it's super easy to use in the first level, but really difficult in the last level. I also like how when you activate his power, the top or the bottom of Crash's body will glow, depending on which objects are currently being phased in and out of existence. Akano is the introvert of the 4. He only says like 3 words. Nachos. And then floats out like an absolute boss, and you remember that this is the guy who likes nachos. Anyone who says so, that he's the worst mask is wrong. But moving on. Akano has the ability of spin gliding. Activate his ability and you're basically Mary Poppins with Crash Bandicoot spinning. I would say that is the mask with the easiest platforming since we are literally just gliding, and it really opens up for linear levels. Take the level Give It a Spin. This gliding section is probably my favourite bit of the game. I mean, you have to admit, it's just delicious to look at. Dark Matter Spin also allows for us to demolish these metal crates that can only be broken by belly flopping on them. I wonder why his tummy always hurts. I don't know why, but breaking these crates with this spin, for some reason, is so satisfying. Capuloa is the nostalgic elder, and happens to be the wise old grandma who is still hiding secrets from us, and apparently broke wind at a wedding. Her words, not mine.
Look at me like I broke wind at a wedding.
She is the time mask, and that is very evident in her design, allowing Crash and Coco to literally slow down time to 0.01 speed. Which makes for some pretty sick Matrix moments, if you know what I mean. The obstacles that are involved in her platforming sections see the speed, of course. We also got new time crates. They're crates that are set on timer when they appear, and believe me, they can get really annoying when you don't know how to deal with them. Ika Ika is the mask with the alter egos in the group chat, and he flips gravity and personality, that seems.
Ever done anything for anyone anyway?
I don't know why one of them is so grumpy. Out of all the 4 masks, his power is my least favorite, since like we have to platform upside down. Like seriously, that is hard. Nothing new really, but the last few levels force us to traverse lasers without actually touching the ground. You can guess why I think it's the hardest level. We see the least of him in the story, and he probably has the most basic power in my opinion. So yeah, that's why he's my least favorite. But that's why I also think that the mask's powers are mostly really cool, but are used really painfully in the last level. Which also happens to have probably one of the hardest bosses in Crash Bandicoot history.
I've been doing this for 10 stinking years. Back and forward, and I'm sick of it. Well, I'm not gonna do it no more.
Unless we're counting the skunk, real legend heals. Okay, bosses. These guys are great, including Luis. We've got 6 bosses. Engine, not this one, that one. Luis, legend. Embryo, somehow laid the neck. Cortex, Entropy. Why are there a lot of ends actually? Like, and then Cortex again. He really does love screen time apparently. Each of the bosses, different aspects of the game's mechanics that make them different. Engine uses heavy metal to beat us. Luis requires a waterboard and an army of pirates apparently. Embryo goes incredible Hulk on us. Cortex plays Fall Guys. Entropy tests my patience. And Cortex plays more Fall Guys. And honestly, I love each of these bosses. They're all unique. Whether it be the environment, the aesthetic around it, the trash talk the villains give, the masks required to beat the boss, and whether they make you just go. Engine is actually quite a fun boss. They're red if you need to crouch, green if you need to jump. The subtle details of the crowd celebrating is honestly so funny, and quite interesting when they actually get up to attack Crash. We bounce on the drums, with Albelani only being the roadie to attack Engine, and his lines are written so much he believes, like he literally thinks that he's a rockstar, so I almost feel sorry for him when we actually defeat him. Well, not before the legend Iconic gives him a quick old bottom on the old noggin. Luis, I wouldn't say is really special, but it is quite fun how he just lure her tentacles into whacking her own pirate rats. Embryo is easily my second favorite boss. He has 2 phases. One is the normal scientist throwing the old bobs of glue that are honestly kind of cute enough to be adopted. And then the second phase, where we have to call in the legend Akano to smack Embryo into the abyss, who then decides to go all Jurassic Park on us. He's easily my second favorite boss, since not only does he do a lot of callbacks to the original game, he actually also is the person who introduces the new inverted mode, which honestly has some really cool visuals. Out of all the other bosses in this game, the final boss with Cortex is truly the most difficult. Throughout the game we used masks to complete levels, but in this boss he seems to pull up Uno reverse on us by using the mask against us. And I have to admit, if we didn't have checkpoints, this boss would have been really painful. I mean, look at the phase where Akana was used. I do like how we get the final blow with the lab assistance though. Those are just 4 reasons why I find Crash Bandicoot 4 painfully good. And if you want to find out about the horrendous Sonic game that made me truly realize the crucial thing about the gaming industry and how it impacted my views on basically all games as a whole, to find out what it was, then click the video on the screen below and I'll see you all there.